Can everyone hear me? I'm learning. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. As you can see, I don't need these. Things are a little different today. Different because, well, I'm wearing a new robe. But if you've paid attention to my YouTube over the years, you will realize that it's not a new robe. You have seen it before. It's the robe I wore in New York when I had coffee and underwear with the Nobodies. Nobody's Watching Wrestling, a famed YouTube show and podcast and things of that nature. And it's not my robe. It was gifted to me by Ariel Italic when I was at her apartment. I wore it. She bequeathed me, and I kept it on to do both of the shows, and I fell in love with it. And she sent it to me. She sent it. I don't know if you can see. Oh, this is hard. There we go. There's my name and a kiss. And this is what Ariel Italic wrote to me. I hope it's not too personal for me to share. Dearest RJ, she wrote, sorry for taking so long to get this to you. I tried to get out as many of the makeup stains as I could. Consider them a mark of authenticity. The robe is liberally perfumed with the signature Nobody's Watching Wrestling fragrance of black leather and strawberry lip balm. If it's too much, it'll wash right out. Take care, stay safe, and enjoy looking fabulous. Kisses and hugs. Ariel, thank you. I feel good. I feel sleeker. This show is getting a lot sexier. And there's so many people in the chat. Karen says, good morning. She paid her tax by liking the video. That's sweet of you, Karen. Jonathan Santos said, I can't think of a better way to do my work than to tune into the God himself. And when you figure out who that is, please let me know. Ty says, well. Says. Ty says, well. What do we have here? It's just me. Good evening. She says, good evening to you, Ty. Ty is saying hi to Karen. Ty, there's a lot of crosstalk. Bill says, happy evening, RJ and the lounge. Hope everyone is doing well and enjoying the evening thus far. And then Bill used the brand new emoji I have for my members. You will see it in your access thing. It is, of course, a lime Rickey Lake. It's the international symbol for a lime Rickey Lake, which I have. Oh, Lord, it just felt, look, it was a whole thing, and then it just fell. But never mind. There it is. There, it's I did a shitty job, but whatever. So, if you go to, let's say you're in Belgium and you want a lime Rickey Lake, you simply show the waiter that emoji. You don't need to know the word for it, and he will bring you one post haste. So here is to the new emoji and the new kimono. It's not a kimono, it's a robe. It's the new silk robe, which smells wonderful, and to new beginnings and to old endings or something. Sean said, good evening, RJ. Good evening, everybody. Travis said, hello, everyone. Enjoying a cigar like a heel does, which reminds me, I got to get my cigar. Good evening, Simon Graves. Dave Muscarella said you are up against stiff competition, the AEW Puppy Battle Royal. That sounds like a desperate gimmick to me. I'm providing consistent programming, and I'm doing incredible in the Nielsen's in the 75 and up demo, which, as you know, buy things like crazy. So advertisers are all over them, okay? Lots of beige clothes, white sneakers with Velcro. Those are the markets I'm after. And speaking of cigars, Travis, I'm back in business. I got this one, which is actually, this one was from my brother, gave it to me as a gift, and it's it's held up for a number of weeks without any sign of flaking or any of the business. The other one looked like it was from the Civil War. Tabby said, hey, everyone except RJ. Boo, RJ. Thank you. I appreciate that. Carla said, this is why RJ is a heel. Jamie said, hi, RJ, you effing heel. I'm not going to swear at this hour of night. Nail said, good evening. A little late. AEW ran over. Well, that's why I started slightly earlier, I guess. Real Wednesday Night Wars here. Sabrina says hi. Nails is using the emoji quite well. Everyone's using it well. Hunter, it is not a pizza emoji. Please, it's not. Everyone stop saying it's a pizza emoji because it's not. Aaron said, what a delight. And what a delight you are. Thank you for joining me. Hunter said, I showed the new emoji to a guy in Belgium, and all he gave me was a waffle and a chocolate. Well, that's what a lime Rickey Lake is there. I should have specified that. That's Belgium for you. That's that classic Belgium initiation prank they do to tourists. Those wacky Belgians. Andrea said, good evening to you. Carla said, silk robe or dressing gown. Well, I'm not getting dressed after this. I'll be taking more clothes off after this to go to bed. So let's just call it a silk robe. Nell said, hey, Karen. And I don't know if she's talking to Karen or she's leveling that at me as an insult. I'm not quite sure. Nicholas said, evening all. Dave said, since you're playing a lot of video games lately, and there will be one going up tomorrow at 12, what old-timey movie or TV show deserved to have a video game license from them? I don't know if it's necessarily old. I mean, it's old, not to me, but I think it is an absolute crime that there was never a Street Sharks video game. That, to me, seemed just rife for some sort of platform, even if it was a Streets of Rage, which is probably what it would have been. But to be able to have those shark abilities and biting people's heads off would have been great. And the bad guy on the show was, of course, Limburger. And he was a portly guy in a mask, and he'd take the mask off, and he was a fish. I didn't quite get the premise. Why they transferred over to land and why they're feuding, I'm not quite sure. But that would be my choice. Travis said, coffee flavor or chocolate? Depends on what. If it's coffee, I want it to taste like coffee. That would be amazing. I've had flavored coffee. It's not really my bag. If it's chocolate, I do kind of like it to taste like coffee. I like those chocolate-covered espresso beans. I think they're delightful. Nell said, I dump my friend's live stream for RJ every week, and I'm not sorry. That's fine. Whatever. I'm also a heel on Wednesdays. Boo me. Good. The self-hatred is brewing. It's great. Blue Meanie is using the Mrs. Doubtfire voice and saying, hello. I will also say I posted it at the beginning of the week on my community tab. You can go click on it. But the latest Mind of Meanie podcast has a brand new theme song for his show sung by me, which I sung a couple weeks ago on Coffee and Underwear. Someone requested it. Let me see if I can sing it again. Navy blue, periwinkle blue, teal and turquoise are blue too. So is he, because he's the Blue Meanie. It's so hard to sing a song when every time you sing it, the lyrics and the melody is slightly different. But go listen to his podcast. He said very sweet things about me, and I'm going to say some sweet things about you in time when they come to me. I loved your dancing. As you know, one of the earliest influences on my career was the Blonde Bitch Project. Big fan of it. So thank you for all your work. Al Valencia said, I hate you, boo you, but since you're a heel, boo boo. Ty said, I'm surprised the cigar hasn't fallen apart or gotten soggy. What are you drinking with it in your mouth? It's because I've gotten better at holding it with my teeth and not my lips. I've understood that my lips are wet and my teeth are dry, and I'm learning. Neil said, who eats green pizza? Hunter said, pepperoni pizza time. Carla said, boo, I love it. Hey there, Mr. Meanie, says Val. Bill said, no one can compete with RJ in the ratings except maybe Alan Thicke. But that's a different story. Mama, don't leave the light on. I'm on the road tonight. That was the theme song to Alan Thicke's talk show. In the thick of the night, running in the thick of the night. And it was a colossal bomb. They tried to make him go head-to-head with Johnny Carson. They said, he'll be great. And he wasn't great at all. And I saw him do a play, a musical, in the local theater over here. And I got free tickets. I don't know why. But he was singing and dancing, but at no point did his feet actually leave the ground. The wonderful Alan. This is the Alan Thicke tribute episode. Neil said, what do you have on under the robe? Well, I have my night shorts, you can say. And then that's it. But I'm not going to reveal too much. You know, I've got a show to run here. Sabrina said, your hair is growing fast. Love it. It's it is, incredibly. This is the longest it's been in a very long time, perhaps ever. Certainly the sides here. But I feel like before the summer is out, I will get it cut because I will need to. Dear Lord. Brozilla says, good evening, RJ and citizens. Of course, Brody has a wonderful YouTube show where he interviewed me. And he should interview a lot of other people. He's an excellent fella. Go watch his stuff. Joe says, another week, another harmonica solo request. I'm going to make a note. And tomorrow I will look for my harmonica set. I have a whole set. I don't know all the different keys, so I can hit you wherever you want. My apologies. Ty said Street Sharks was a great cartoon. Indeed. Nail said, wow, Street Sharks, what a flashback. Is there a Golden Girls video game, says Nicholas? Kind of. Do you remember that? It's not Angry Birds. It's another one. It's like a Busy Bird game where you just have to tap. It's a phone app game to keep it up. There's a friend of mine, Mike Dennison. He does this wonderful B. Arthur art. He actually drew the portrait on my knee Arthur. He did a game called, I believe, Busy Bee, B-E-A. And it's B. Arthur doing that game. It's adorable. And that's it, as far as I know. Johnny said, I agree with Street Sharks, but there was a Biker Mice from Mars game, which was really rad. No, I remember it being bad because it was a racer game. And I get it. They're bikers, but I'd rather them punch. I need to punch in the games. Fresh Prince of Africa said, here is a song recommendation, Sanctuary by Joji. I thought it was Sanctuary by Charles Lawton. If anyone can name that film, please do. Brian said, nails out here, diction friend, shaking my head. Hunter said, is that like the Shazam effect? Could have sworn there was an S. I don't know what we're talking about, but I can add an S to anything. SM said, I rushed to unload groceries from my car to make it to City after dark on time and hurt my finger in the process, but it was worth it. Yes, it was here. It's going to build character, and you're going to come out stronger because of it. And next time you have a grocery accident, you're going to say, this is not a big deal, because I'm used to hurting myself. Bill said, hope you're doing well, Meanie. Oh, that's nice. Fast Food Guido said, Biker Mice from Mars. And Quincy needed video games. Biker Mice from Mars did have one. Quincy, I don't think so. Maybe a graphic novel. Ty said, the Blue Song is my favorite song. I'm so behind on the chat here. I'm going through them. Rocking the Boat is my favorite, said Nails. Brian said, hey, RJ, if I give you a Swift $10, can you spend the day singing everything I do? Kind of like Randy Newman. You know, Brian's walking around, getting out of bed. Make that bed. It's so wrinkly. There, you got. If that's all you did today, then you've just made yourself $10. Nail said, does anyone else pull the same faces as RJ back at him when he's singing? Or am I cracking up? That's called emotional connection, Nails. I'm reaching you on that level, and I'm, the emotional puppet master, if you will. If you're telling a story in the ring, or on the stage and something sad happens, people in the audience go, oh. But when I sing, when I look in the camera and I sing to you, I'm giving you my raw emotion. And you're getting the highs and you're getting the lows. And it's affecting you. Sorry. Fast Food said, did Airwolf have a video game? That I don't think so. Carla said, question. A friend of mine called Dan Housen as Dan Houseman. And it was adorable. How has my name been mispronounced? Well, I've been PJ, TJ, DJ, and that's all from like ring announcers. And of course, RJ Shitty, which hurts, stings a little bit. There was one time, for some reason, I think we were wrestling in, the ring announcer was in Vince. This is an Italian neighborhood. And if you sound like you have an Italian name, they'll love you, which is total bullshit. Like, it's so stupid. So I think he called me Tony City against my wishes. This is when you're first starting out and like people don't care. They think they know better and they will just change your name at a whim. So for that evening, I had to respond to Tony. Somebody said, hey, Tony. I had to be like, yep, yes, that's me. Of course it is. Dear Lord. Bill said, what sort of role do you think you would have had if you were part of the BWO with Meanie? I would have loved to have been a manager of the BWO in the sense that, and kind of like, I guess, their agent and manager in that Artie Fufkin Spinal Tap sense, where I saw the potential in them, and if we just made a few tweaks, we could do it. And then I would make them copy the popular acts, and they would do it almost begrudgingly. You know, I'd say, come on, guys, Japanese strong style, only headbutts tonight. That's what we're doing. That's what's in. That's what's going to catch on. That's something I really wanted to do because I had pitched that idea. I think, to Impact with Dick Justice a while ago. And of course, it clearly never came to fruition, but I loved it. And I think it would also involve a bunch of satin jackets. Hunter said, in honor of the new emoji, what's your favorite kind of pizza? I like a thin crust, well done margarita pizza. Well done to me is pretty much black on the bottom, because if it's too gooey, you can't, you pick the piece up and they just, you want it to be able to hold all that gooiness. You want the hardness of the crust, almost like a good pie, like a good apple pie. You want that. It's important to hold and to fold. Thin crust margarita. Margarita is mozzarella, little light tomato sauce, and some basil. Very plain. However, because it is plain, it needs the fresh ingredients so they can all properly interact with each other. That's important to me. Dave said, as a heel, have you had any arguments with old ladies or little kids lately? Well, I called out Vicki Lawrence and she hasn't answered me back. She hasn't answered me back for years. And this new wrestling baby, I kind of called out this wrestling baby. He's been calling out Danhausen, and I felt bad because he's getting his ass kicked by this baby, so I kind of stepped in. It's not going anywhere. I don't even think the baby wants to work with me. Brian said, Flappy Bird. Thank you, damn it. Nail said, who comes up with these things? Biker mice from Mars. Well, they were sitting in a room, these picture men, these network heads, and they were like, cartoon. I don't know, all on the whiteboard, it just says cartoon for kids. Well, this is the kids' department, so it just says cartoon. And they're like this. They have a cigar, and they're going like this. Here's what I'm thinking. And picture guy comes in. He's all sweaty. The underling, the gopher guy. And here's what we're thinking, sir. Motorcycles are very popular. What about a cartoon about bikers? And the guy goes, bikers, eh? Good, but not quite good enough. And he goes, okay, well, sir, little animals are popular with children. So what if they're mice, biker mice? Big heavy machinery, revving engines, cute ears, long tails, floofy body. Good, better, but not good enough. And the guy's just sweating, pouring sweat. He's like, kids like space. Kids like to go into space. So what about biker mice from space? Biker mice from the moon? Alien Earth? No. Mercury? Mars? Biker mice from Mars. And he's like, damn it, you've got a deal. And then he just made him, and they kicked him out of the room, and they all made $1 million. It was great. Dave said, another classic heel move you could do. Milk a minor injury as a way too, I see what you're saying. Milk a minor injury way too long, a la Bob Orton or Iron Mike Short. Iron Mike Short. I would love to do that. Val said, you know what? I feel like we're enough into the show that we should have a limerick. Wow, I guess Val's the director. Let me get through these comments 2 seconds. Airwolf had an NES video game. Danny Phantom said, I got new speakers for my computer to hear the limericks and the songs better. Okay, they're coming up. Brian said, I see this is where the world famous Coffee with RJ went to. Missed the old fashioned Facebook Lives. Yeah, it's all up. I had to make the switch because Facebook's kind of a scam. That's a story for another day, or maybe after the limerick. Andrea said, Dan Houseman and Bobby Horse. Yeah, I love Bobby Horse. Where am I now? Danny said, if only I was born a decade sooner, I would have been able to do all the cool Nickelodeon game shows like Finders Keepers, Nick Arcade. I don't have the stamina for guts, and nobody did. No kid did. Hunter said, I had a side job at a local healthy pizza salad sandwich place, and I got in trouble one time because someone asked for a margarita pizza, and I didn't put shredded mozzarella all over it. Shame on you, Hunter. Hunter R. The R clearly stands for really incorrect. Brian said, I remember meeting Blue Meanie last year at Frightmare in the Falls, and I asked him what his name was. He looked at me in the eyes. I knew who he was, and I just shut up down. What? Great guy. Sam said, there was once I saw an indie wrestler named Amos Moses, and the announcer said he was from Tulapo, Louisiana, rather than Tabado, Louisiana. Idiots. What would a Cobb salad pizza say? I've had, they call them salad pizza. They're actually pretty good. It's too much vinegar. Like I wouldn't have it. Like the first slice, it's okay. They literally they bake. It's almost like a focaccia, and then they put salad on it. Neil said, that's how you heal. Pick fights with babies. What do you do when kids stare at you, like from a stroller to a coffee shop or over the seat on a plane? Do you scowl? I say, you're in a lot of trouble, mister. Val loved Nick Arcade and Get the Picture on Nickelodeon. Ty said, this is such a long explanation. Holy shit. Oh, yeah, that's how long my thing was. We're still on Biker Mice from Mars. Blue Meanie said, you could have been the Harry Smilak from the movie Body Slam for the BWO, taking us around the country in an RV with a live musical act. And of course, you can hear more about the movie Body Slam on My Good, the Bad, and the Unknown on Charles Nelson Riley, which was quite a few weeks ago at this point. Thank you for that wonderful subdued plug, Meanie. No limericks. My children can't handle it, said Hunter R. I say, Hunter R., since you botched that pizza, we're going to read a limerick. Let's read a good one here. I picked out one. Let's see. It's a long one, so I hope that's okay. Oh, no. Let's read a couple short ones first. There's a good one here. Whew. There was a young lady named Spruce whose favorite thrill was a goose. Just the sight of a thumb made her tuchus all numb, and her bowels got excited and loose. When they say goose, they mean not the animal. I just want to clarify it. Oh, here's a good one. In Glasgow, a tender tapeworm was so starved that he barely could squirm, until his host finally was buggered divinely, and Jimmy had Vaseline and sperm. You ask for it, and then I feel like you don't like it after I give it to you. I just feel that in the air. There's a real sadomasochistic tendency with everyone here. Dear Lord. Al said, do you think the Jerry Lewis gimmick would work today? Do you mean me? Because the answer is no, obviously. Nicholas said Samurai Pizza Cats was a great show. I agree. Sabrina said she's going to buy more shirts. I can't blame you, although I encourage you not to do it. Bill said, loved your Scott Steiner lobster story. Yes, that went up on Tuesday for my Key to the City members. An odd story. Just wondering if there was any other wrestlers you met early on in your career that you were nervous to meet. Well, Hulk, I was very nervous to meet. Kevin Nash, I was very nervous to meet. Ended up being a wonderful person, a delightful friend. Robert Maillet, I was very nervous to meet. The guy who played Kurgan, because I was in the movie Monster Bowl with him, and I had to work with him. And he didn't really work that much at that point, and it was just an odd thing, and I wanted to make sure that went well. So that was good, too. And, of course, Brett and Roddy Piper. Just terribly. When I walked onto the set of Body Slam, the TV show, figure that one out, Meanie. I knew Bret Hart was going to be on it, and then I didn't realize Roddy was going to be on it. No one had told me. And I went in, and he's there, and I freaked out, and I ran to the bathroom and called my dad. That's how nervous I was. Sabrina said, now I want the lemon shirt. I believe I have a problem. I don't see why you would have a problem. Oh, I did a horrible job cutting this. Val said, I feel blessed by the Limerick gods. More like cursed. Hunter said, I almost got the lime shirt, but I was going to justify it by getting the USA Orange Cassidy shirt, but it's sold out. So blame Orange Cassidy. Great. Thanks for nothing. Lemons, and it's a citrus-themed clothing line you're going after. Val said, I love the Limericks. They're gross and terrible, but I can't stop. Pantyless Grandma said, oh, Lord, divine buggery. Tabby said, have you watched The Floor is Lava on Netflix yet? No, I haven't. I've heard it. I heard about it. I get it. I don't feel like I want to watch it. Like I saw one clip and I'm like, I get it. Bill said, cringing but laughing at the same time. That limerick. It's something else, Bill. Famous Among the Barn said, when you make it back into the ring, which is never going to happen. I retired and nobody's even noticed. Can you organize an in-ring kick line a la the chorus line? Have you seen the wrestlers kick? Maybe a super kick line. That could be possible. Raquel Durango said, hi, RJ. I was wondering, what's the sexiest gift that you were given? It's a two-parter. The second question is, what is the worst gift that they thought was sexy, but you hated it? My first girlfriend, like in high school, sorry, there's a cigar, for some reason, got me just a giant lollipop. I don't know if she had it like a toddler fetish or she wanted me to be Stinky from the Abbott and Costello show. But it was weird. That was definitely the worst one. The sexiest one, I like when if you're away, you're traveling or whatever, and people hop on like last minute flights to come see you, that kind of thing. If you care about someone very much, their mere presence can make you feel is incredibly sexy and sweet. Otherwise, I'm the one who gets on the hook for stuff. People do nice things for me, and then I'm indebted to get them very nice gifts. Sabrina said, Kevin Nash and Bret Hart are so nice. I love them. They are. They're very delightful people. Dave said, if they remade They Live and you got the Roddy part, I would be good at it, by the way, and I should do it. Who would you want to play the Keith David's character? That is a delightful question. Be someone I have to fight. I was gonna say Terry Crews, but I don't think anyone's fond of him right now. Maybe a Dwayne. I think Dwayne would be good, although he wouldn't do it. He would want too much money, and this is clearly an independent film. Sunny Kiss. Tabby is just has now wedged the Andre emoji between the Lime Ricky emoji and said Andre wearing Lime Mickey Mouse ears. Well punned, Tabby. Hunter said the answer to both of the sexy questions is HPV. And that's the human papillomavirus. A lot of people get it confused with the animal papillomavirus. Pamplona is the bulls. The running of the bulls is in the human papillomavirus. Ty said, you retired? Fabulous. I don't ever have to see you wrestle. Even if you saw me wrestle, you really wouldn't see me wrestle. Sabrina said, Ty, you ain't missing much. Dave said, you can't retire before David Arquette. Oh, I hope he's done. He actually he literally just texted me. Let's see what he texted me. Oh, look at him. Look at this nice picture of him. Is it him? In a bozo jacket. Look at how happy he is. And misguided. What horrible facial hair. I'm going to write back Mazel Tov. Andrea said, RJ and I would definitely make a good supermarket sweep team, I think. I agree. And if you want to just throw my name in, knock yourself out. I'm here for it. Andrea said, I'm a supermarket sweep aficionado, and I can push a cart like nobody's business. Hunter said, if you were on supermarket sweep, would you go straight to the hams? Or would you try to find the gigantic Chiquita banana? Well, I found her before, and she was a delight. But no, I would go straight for the hams. Famous from the Barn said, I just learned that John Lennon was the best man at Peter Boyle's wedding. I need more random celebrity facts. Please weigh in. Random celebrity facts. Well, most of the facts are random celebrity facts. Who was I doing today? I was researching. I'll tell you this, and we will dive into it on a future Good, the Bad, and the Unknown episode because it's in my notes today. There was a Blazing Saddles TV show that you never knew about, and you never knew about it for a very specific reason. That's all I will say. Nail said, we learn things in these streams. Yes, you do. It's very educational. Terry said, maybe the first girlfriend had an LL Cool J obsession. Also, after meeting you a couple years ago, it's very difficult to boo you. Well, you're doing a bad job as a fan, Terry. David said, what are things you're willing to wait in long lines for? Like, I refuse to wait in line for an hour for roller coaster rides. That I can do depending on the weather. If it's blazing hot and sunny outside, I want to go in. Aaron appropriately used the David Arquette emoji. So thank you. Dave, what else would I wait in line for? I don't know. Concert tickets, but nobody really does that anymore. I wouldn't wait to get into a restaurant. To get into a movie, if it was a really popular movie, maybe flying standby if it was a really cheap flight. Like, I don't mind waiting at the airport if I really need to go somewhere. That doesn't bother me. But other than that, not that much. Kingdom says, will you please light that cigar already? Absolutely not. I'm not a monster. I ruined my health like that. Neil said, can you read out your last Twitter DM? Gee, I didn't. This turned into Dare game. Let's see what's here. My last one. Obscenely strong, looks too easy. This is a Twitter conversation between me and Nug, my dear friend Nug. He sent me a clip. Can you see that? This is this thing is horrible. It's the ring light. Was there a better way to do it? He sent me a clip of the Big Boss Man and Earthquake wrestling each other. We were talking about how amazing it is. That was my last one. Sorry, I know you were hoping for something slightly more salacious, Nails. Sabrina said, how was your day today? Please, this is not the forum for invasive personal questions. Tabby said, have you ever done a tope suicida? No, I've never done one because I haven't been in the right mood. You know, I haven't picked up a good breeze. Every time I wrestle, there's not that much wind and it bothers me. Rowan said, hi, RJ. Couldn't resist dropping in even though I work early shift again tomorrow morning. Blah, Rowan, get out of the stream and go to bed. Julie's going to pick you up. Don't bark. Get it together. You're going to be ashamed of yourself. Val said, RJ can only give you celebrity facts about celebrities only your grandmother knows. Bill said, does David text you late at night and wake you up due to the time difference in California? Actually, I don't think he's in California right now. I believe he's in Arkansas filming a movie. However, in addition to being on LA time and he's on LA time, as you can imagine, his circadian rhythm, his internal clock has been shattered. Someone hit it with a hammer in the 90s. So his sleeping patterns are erratic, to say the least. So in addition to the time difference, sometimes I'll wake up, it'll be like 9 o'clock, and I won't realize it, and I'll send him a text. Or it'll be 7 o'clock, I'm up early. I'm like, I'll just send him a text now. And then I'm like, shit, it's 4 o'clock there, and he'll text me back immediately. What are you doing? He's like, I'm up. I have to go down. I've missed this again. Tabby said, I knew about the Blazing Saddles TV show because the pilot episode is on the DVD I have. But Tabby, what you don't know is why the whole fakakta thing even happened in the first place. So stay tuned. Johnny said, can we please get a reboot of Perfect Strangers with RJ and Danhausen as Larry and Balky? I don't know. Can you? Why does everyone think they'll say, you should do this show? And I'm like, why don't you call a network or an agent or, a bigwig, anyone, and say, make something with this guy. Spread me. Don't come to, I don't have all the answers. I got to call up and get the rights from Bronson Pink Show and Mark Lynn Baker. I have to spend a weekend in the Poconos consulting with them. Al said, RJ, what wrestlers would you bring out of retirement? I'm trying to think of people that retire. I don't want to bring people out of retirement because I think it's mean. They're good. Like, if they retired, I'm like, good. Like, it's fine. It's good. Be at peace. You don't want to go through this whole rigmarole again. Really, it's not worth it. Stay. You made the right decision. Live with it. I don't want to ruin anyone's lives. Dave said, we were doing one of those 80s PSAs, but for current day, what topic would you want to cover? Oh, maybe like thumb health for texting, like your hand health. Now that we're doing this, I think you're going to all get arthritis. You're going to get rheumatoid arthritis when you're older. It's certainly a concern I have, and I stretch my hands constantly because I'm paranoid about it. So it's something that is very passionate to me. What's that Lou Albano one? He's like, don't do drugs, kids, because if you do, you'll go to hell. And then his face to black. Fanta's grandma said, have you considered getting a pipe instead of a cigar? I have a pipe. It's my grandfather's pipe, and I can't for the life of me figure out where I put it. And it's really bothering me. And I looked for it. That's how I even ended up with a cigar. My first thought was to have a pipe. And if I can find it, I will pipe it up, or I will pipe down. Aaron said the cigar will only be lit at the last shot of the series finale. And then we cut to like a house blowing up. Nug says Sabrina. Blue Meanie says Nug is awesome. He's delightful. Hunter said, RJ City versus Trish Stratus to represent my two favorite Canadian wrestlers to win Babe of the Year 2003. Well, I'll tell you this, Hunter. Trish declined being on the Cynical Crafter. So if you want my opinion, take her off your list because she is not game. Nails New York said, do you still have the police uniform? You could do a Boss Man tribute match. Who would be your Earthquake? Who would be my Earthquake? Oh, Puff. Puff, I think, would be a good Earthquake. Dave Mascarella said, Someone needs to randomly send you unsolicited Dick Cavett pics or maybe Dick Clark photos. You know, I will tell you a couple weeks ago, and I didn't want to talk about it because it is kind of oddly personal to me. I think I can say because it's very sweet. David Arquette for my birthday, which is coming up, which isn't yet. It's next week. Hooked me up with a 30-minute phone call with me and Dick Cavett. And it was, easily one of the best gifts I've ever gotten. He outdid himself. I don't know how he pulled it off. And Dick could not have been more delightful. I am a gigantic Dick Cavett fan. If you don't know who he is, he's perhaps the greatest interviewer who ever lived. Maybe never had the number one talk show, but his interviews and moments will live on in infamy, and the things he got out of people and the moments he allowed to happen on his show are fantastic. And he is an idol of mine. I've always looked up to him, and it was very surreal to be able to speak to him about a lot of stuff. I think I knew more about his career than he did. So it was, and yes, we talked about Ethel Merman and Ernest Borgnine, of course. So I got better than a dick pic. I got a dick call. Mingalia, Memory Lane said, first of all, it's Minalia. Thank you. But you're a heel, so I don't expect you to say it right to begin with. Anyway, if you could cameo in any old school Nick at Night show lineup, which would it be? I love WKRP in Cincinnati. That is a cool ass show that I would really want to just show up at. And wearing this. Nail said, does anyone have a number of a bigwig? It's a large phone. It's one of those. Those are the phones. Nail said, the robe is opening. Look away, everyone. I'm so sorry. Ty said, be at peace. Nail said, is there a word that grosses you out? Yes. Pamphlet and brochure. So if somebody wants me to go to like a zoo or something and I'm at a hotel lobby, I don't know what to say. Those words are just pamphlet. I think it's that second P. Pamphlet. It's gross. Pamphlet. It's just I'm looking at my mouth. Pamphlet. I hate myself when I see me saying that word. And brochure. It's such a dad word. Something you have. It's a brochure. Brochure. It's a brochure. It's so gross. I don't like it. Hunter said, RJ, how come you can't bring yourself to shave your facial hair, but somehow you find the time to shave your chest hair every day? I did shave my facial hair on Sunday. As you know, last week it was much longer, and if you want my opinion, gross. And I will shave it again before Sunday. So stay the course. This, it's actually not that. It's a little prickly. You could really scratch a good itch on it. Sabrina said, what is the 18th photo on your phone? Let's figure this out. Playing phone games here. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, I really don't want to show this because it's my passport. Oh, you can't. Yeah, okay. You believe me? I can't show it to you for privacy reasons. That's okay. And then the next one is do the moves. Just do the moves. There you go. Great job. Great pick, Sabrina. The number 18 really ruined you there. Thinking of Carl Reiner said, famous among the Barnes. Do you have a favorite Dick Van Dyke Show episode? Well, of course, the one in the bowling alley with Classy Freddie Brassey. What can be better than that from me? Billy Alexander, I'm losing my lips are tired today. Were you a big Earthquake fan because he squashed Jake the Snake? That was so disgusting when I was a kid, but it was also something I wanted to do. When you're a kid, you're like, this guy just destroys things with his ass. You know, your parents are trying desperately to get you to go to the bathroom without a diaper, use the toilet properly. And you look and you go, this man has a giant ass and he's just killing animals with his ass. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Terry said, Young Ones fans in here? Sorry, Terry, this is the wrong chat room. Nail said, have you ever taken hallucinogenic drug? So what did you see? If not, what do you imagine that you would see? So I have casually researched LSD because it's a fascinating history, and it was used therapeutically, and then Nixon was like, let's get rid of this, is horrible, and it was outlawed, and whatever. Still has these properties that people believe in. Certain people have taken it and they've opened it their mind. Here's the thing. It seems to be that if you take it, it'll either open up your mind, you'll see the world anew, you won't fear death, and you'll have this new train of thought and all this wonderful stuff, or you'll see a bunch of spiders. It seems to really be either or. And I see spiders on a good fucking day. So, like, I'm good. I don't really need that shit. I don't think it's worth it. The other thing is, you hear people talk about mushrooms or whatever. They're like, if you want to do them in a safe space with people you trust. I don't even trust anyone to hold my coat. I'm going to get ruined and rely on these people to help me out. That's insane. Ty said, pipe it up because RJ is 67. Tabby said, Nug should be on some sort of wrestling after show on Canadian sports television. Thank you. I'll recommend that to him. Rowan said, Dick York. Neil said, David loves you so much. Rowan's just naming dicks now. Aaron said, amazing. Dave said, Dick Havett's interview with Muhammad Ali is an all-time great. Yes, and there's a good documentary on HBO that talks about it. Blue Meanie said, Dick Havett taught me hamburgers are steak burgers. Hence why I always put A1 on my burgers. Rebecca Smith, a lovely mint tribute. Welcome to the key to the city. Everyone is going to welcome you. I assure you it's not a cult. Enjoy the bevy of emojis and click on the community tab. And if you keep scrolling all the way to the bottom, you'll see all my exclusive videos. They're debaucherous and weird, and well, a lot goes on. So thank you, enjoy, and my sincerest apologies. Terry said, that's so awesome. I was just watching a clip where Lucille Ball was on the Dick Havoc show and she was talking about hearing music through her fillings. Riveting stuff. Dave said, I feel like you were born a couple decades earlier. You would have ended up on Star Search. I think I would have ended up hosting it. Move aside, Ed. Bill said, wow, Dick Cavett is awesome. Watched an episode of his on Tubi recently with Groucho Marx. Simply an all-time interviewer. He famously became friends with Groucho Marx, and Groucho would just stop by the show and come on the show. He also, Dick told me, and he was friends with Stan Laurel, which is like, that's like being friends with Bigfoot. That's like he was a real person, like from Laurel and Hardy, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Such a mythic figure. And it was just, it's whatever. It was nice. It was really nice. Andre said, wow, it's amazing. David loves you so much. I guess so. Tabby said, the WKRP Thanksgiving show is one of the great episodes of television. Yes, of course. Andrea said, thoughts on the Donna Reed show? This been better. Mainly the Dinah Shore show. That, I think, was better than the Donna Reed show, to be honest with you. Dave said, screw pamphlet. It's all about the leaflet. Dear Lord. Nail said, do you like disco? Yeah, one of my favorite WCW mid-card guys of all time. Carla said, just returned from giving my son a piggyback ride. So, as Bobby continues to disappoint, remember that Carla will do the horse. Thank you, Carla. It's so sweet of you. Sabrina said, oops. I don't know what that's referring to. Cary Grant swore by LSD treatment, said Carla. Ty said, such language. Nail said, what do you think is the greatest thing since sliced bread? Well, I think the toaster. That really levels up what you can do with bread, to be honest with you. Nails welcomed Rebecca. Everyone is. Rebecca says, not a cult? Damn it. I want a Kool-Aid. Well, we don't have Kool-Aid. Why? Why would I create my own drink that's oddly colored and try to push it on everyone? That's a little bizarre, Rebecca, don't you think? Everyone's welcoming Rebecca. It's so nice. Terry said, I was dosed with LSD when I was a kid before I was going to a showing of Jurassic Park. Dear Lord. Famous Among the Barns said Dick Cavett was in Beetlejuice, which I found profoundly strange. That was incredibly strange. It was, and out of left field. He's at the dinner table when they sing Deo, and the napkins are, and then the shrimp hands. Dear Lord. Dave said, have you ever seen the Laurel and Hardy TV reboot? Yes, I have, with Bronson Pinchot. Horrible, 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 and sad and weird in every single way. Neil said, would you rather ride a roller coaster naked or ski naked? I'd rather ride a roller coaster naked. You feel like your balls are in your throat anyway. What difference does it make? Nail said, do you think it was cruel? Or what? Do you think it was cruel of his to create vast oceans, then add salt so we can't drink it? No, it's good for your cuts and stuff. Hunter, the Mint Tribute, said, I feel bad because I'm playing League and only half paying attention. Sing whatever you want. Well, song requests really are not on Wednesdays. However, I'm feeling in a good mood and I'm in this robe. This is a new me. I'm gonna love you like nobody's loved you. Come rain or shine. High as a mountain, deep as a river. Come rain or shine. I bet when you met me, it was just one of those things. But don't you regret me, 'cause I'm gonna stay true if you let me. Dear Lord, wrong key. You're gonna love me like nobody's loved me, come rain or come shine. Happy together, unhappy together, and won't it be fine? Days may be cloudy or sunny. We're in or we're out of the money. But I'm with you always, rain or shine. That was Rain or Shine. Sung in that instance in my head by Jerry Lewis. Val said, Dave, yes, Patty Duke, Joby Gills, and Mr. Ed were the way to go on Nick at Night in the early 90s. Tabby said, Beetlejuice. Who's naming things? Nail said, what would you do if someone bought you a cameo of Betty White saying pamphlet and brochure over and over? I wouldn't. I wouldn't even accept the cameo, and I would complain to those people. Hunter said, it wouldn't let me donate $5. It was either $4.99 or $9.99. I don't set, there's some weird price, some algorithm business. Anyway, look, you got it for 1 cent cheaper. Good for you. Sabrina uses the emoji of me as a cartoon. Ref says, Wizard said, much like the coffee in your underwear show, my wife is going to walk in and have questions, and I will provide all the answers. Pantyless Grandma said, well, Fudge, that song is the most romantic thing I will ever experience in this life. Rob Veet said, did you see the episode of the Dinah Shore Show where B. Arthur was a guest? Oh, yes, only clips. I haven't seen the whole thing. Dinah asked her if she's seeing any men, and B massively shades Dinah by turning the question back on her. To my understanding, B had a very tumultuous relationship with her husband, I think around that time. And the reason she ended up wanting to leave the Maude show was because he left her, they got a divorce or something, and she really wasn't emotionally ready to return to television until the Golden Girls. And even then, she wasn't crazy about it. Bill said, who started the roller coaster club between you, Con, Dalton, and Matt? I still think you guys are the new Golden Girls. I have it coming up, Bill. I can't remember exactly when it's scheduled, but there's an exclusive Key to the City members video where I dive into the whole Coaster Club story and I tell it in detail. But let me put it this way. It was neither of us. None of us. Neither, whatever. You got it, and you'll hear it too. And Andre said, you have a great voice. Val said, she'll have more questions if she hears the limericks. Oh, yeah, I have one coming. Famous Among the Barn said, Dick Van Dyke or Danny Kaye? Who is the better song and dance man? Well, Danny Kaye was absolutely the better song and dance man, but I've heard by everyone that he was an asshole. So I'm going to lower this. That's better. Now I feel better. It felt so weird before. Dave said, all this sitcom talk has me looking up 60 sitcoms. I can't believe My Three Sons lasted 12 seasons. Well, there was some slim pickings. There was only 3 channels back then. Nail said, would you rather party with Jean-Claude Van Damme or Rob Van Damme? That's a silly question. Rob, all the way. I would rather party with Dick Van Patten. Sabrina said, Limerick time? Yeah, fine. Brian said, was it true that B had heat? Brian. Blue Meanie said, was it true that B had heat with Betty White in real life? Allegedly, yes. And when this is done, I'm going to send you a video telling a story that will blow you away. I can't even share it here because it's so loquacious. Let's read one. Oh, God. Get ready for this one, kids. This will knock your socks off. Meet Elmer, a young... Let me do this again. Meet Elmer, a young son of the Thorpes, afflicted with psychotic warps. His idea of fun is to bugger a nun and then vomit all over the corpse. You don't have an answer for that, do you? An earnest young woman in Thrace said, "Darling, that's not the right place." So he gave her a thwack and did on her back what he couldn't have done face to face. Dear Lord. Well, let me save this one for the end here. This is disgusting. This is all very disgusting. Carla said, "Wow, my thoughts exactly." Danny said, "Wait, what?" I said, "Can we not?" I think we did, and it's too late now. Val said, "Tabby, Murder, She Wrote. J.B. Fletcher is an icon." Danny said, "Will you, Colin, Dalton, and Matt sit down for another episode of the Grigio Guys?" That's up to Dalton. That's his show. So I haven't seen an episode since. Nail said, "If you had a time machine, there's only two options. Would you go and meet B. Arthur, or would you go and kill baby Hitler?" And then I got to live as a baby killer. I don't know what the butterfly effect is. And I feel like that'll turn around as Twilight Zone and make the world even worse. So I would say, let me just meet B. Let me just sit across from her in a coffee shop for 20 minutes, and then we'll keep the world relatively. I don't want to be mixing with the timelines and stuff. Sabrina said, "Let's take the book away from him." Tabby uses the Dave emoji. Danny uses the Andre emoji. NPMD says, "Yep, I'm scared." OSWF said, "These are brutal tonight." Indeed. Where's Yolanda? She's missing all of these. Pandila's grandma said, "Roman showers and necrophilia." Not what I was expecting. Really? What else was on your list? Dave said, "You know what limericks need more of? Necrophilia." It's hard to rhyme. Bill has these wonderful terrified emojis. Karen said, "Oh my God." Neil said, "We should write our own limerick book for this." Let me see. There's got to be a right one in here. Here's one that I picked out. Okay. Yeah. This is a long one. Let's give it a shot, though. Let's give it a shot. I haven't vetted this completely, but are you ready? Is everyone ready? I feel like I'm too low now. The good ship's name was Venus. Her mast had a towering penis. Her figurehead, very loose in bed, a pretty sight, by Jesus. The first mate's name was Andy. By God, he was a dandy. They broke his cock with chunks of rocks for conking in the brandy. I have no idea what any of that even means. The second mate was Morgan. By God, he was a gorgon. 9 times a day, fine tunes he'd play on his reproductive organ. The captain's daughter, Mabel, they screwed when they were able. They nailed her tits, those lousy shits, right to the captain's table. The captain's other daughter, they threw her in the water. You could tell by the squeals, some of the eels had found her reproductive quarter. Wow. Whew. The cabin boy was the cabin's joy, a cunning little nipper. They filled his ass with broken glass and circumcised the skipper. Then, in search of new sensation in the forms of recreation, the ship was sunk in a wave of gunk from mutual masturbation. That was an all-timer. That was a damn good one. That is, yeah. We got to sit with that, and you got to go, it's bad, but good at the same time. I want to apologize to everyone. I'm so sorry. Famous Among the Barn said, "Hey, instead of towering penises, let's talk about the career of Norman Lear." Ty doesn't want a limerick anymore. Ty, grow up. Stop being so immature. Val said, "Oh." Karen said, "I'm in shock." Andrea said, "Jesus." Ty's covering her ears. Sabrina said, "And that's my cue to leave. Good night, everybody." Ty said, "Well, RJ's canceled. It was nice not knowing him because he's a heel." Val is laughing. Panda's grandma said, "Oh my God, can we not nail anyone's private parts on anything? Isn't that just a shocking thought?" You're like, "What?" It's shuddering. Carla said, "Who was doing all these acts?" From my understanding, the ship crew. Panda's grandma, oh, we did that one. Nail said, "I need to know who wrote this book. I'm going to ring a big wig and complain." You know, it's there's only an editor. His name is G. Legman. And because these are old, like, folky, and they're collected through the years, which is crazy. Tabby said, wait a minute. The Sex Pistols put this limerick to music. Bill said Gilligan would not be pleased. I'll say, little buddy. Aaron said, what is this, sweeps week? This is the 75 and up demo. Rachel said, RJ, you completely skipped over someone's super chat while singing for Hunter. Oh, no. Let me go all the way back. I'm so sorry. Oh, look. SM said, for being the human version of an antidepressant. Thank you. By the way, my finger feels better now. And I didn't even know you could put a custom emoji in the super chat. SM, that is so sweet. And I'm sorry I missed it. I was in the throes of the singing. I apologize. I have to be more vigilant next time. And now I've really ruined everything. It's horrible, horrible limerick. Thank you, Rachel, for pointing that out. Thank you, SM. My deepest condolences. Rachel said, RJ, oh, we did that. Andre said, oh my God, Jesus, wow. Thank God it's Wednesday, the hump of the week. Carla said, G. Legman? Yes, the wonderful, renowned limericist. G. Legman. Ty said, write the developers and complain. Terry said, all of our ancestors are nasty as hell. That's the other thing. You know how old this is? It's so old that it makes you feel like they always act like popular culture has gotten more raunchy. Like maybe in the mainstream, but in terms of extreme stuff, I think we've actually become a lot more tame and accepting and open with it all. But I think as far as vulgarity is concerned, we may have actually cleaned up our act. Neil said, G. Legman. I'm putting him on my hit list with Ruffalo White and that Pink Ranger. Amy Jo Johnston. Hunter said, that's because singing for me is the only thing that matters. Well, not now, because I've already sung it. Sabrina said, boo. Bill said, boo with a heel. Panthers Grandma said, do you think G. Legman was a boobs guy? His brother's name was G. Breastman. Neil said, Sabrina didn't leave. See, it is a cult. She can't leave. Neil said, there's so much nastiness from the days of y'all. Tabby said, I was going to write a limerick about necrophilia and a certain career that just died, but I decided against it. Well, it must be David's. Carla said, we peaked at limericks. That's for sure. So should I feel like I should just wrap up now. It's not really going to get any better than that. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. And I want to thank my new members. It's not a cult, I assure you, even though I subject you to these horrible, horrible limericks. And I won't read another one until next week. When I go, this is like, I have so much guilt when I'm done. And I'm like, oh, that was horrible. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm like, nah, that limerick wasn't so bad. Sunday, Monday, I'm like, I wonder if there's any other. And then like by Tuesday, I'm like, there's got to be something good in here. I can't wait. This is the worst lemon I've ever cut. Karen said later. RJ said, see you soon. Angel said, no, thank you. No, wouldn't miss it, said Nails. Danny said, it's totally a cult. Tabby said, 1 more hour. Get out of here. I'm going to bed. Nails said, I love Wednesdays. Love it as always. I love the limericks. Bill said, not a cult. What a hoot tonight. Have a great evening, RJ, in the lounge. Panzo's grandma said, should we sing you some nice non-violent limericks? Please do, and I'd be happy to read them. Nell said, does everyone feel sufficiently dirty? Tabby said, good night, everyone except RJ. Boo, RJ. Carla said, limerick recovery days. SM said, have you shared your Amazon wish list yet? I don't know where to post it. If you send me a message, I will send it to you. It's not good. It's not going to be anything that you would like getting from me, I assure you. It's just more limericks. It's just more old books of limericks. And Sabrina ended with the David emoji. So that's it. And I'm sorry for everybody. I'll redeem myself on Sunday. I'll only sing like church hymns. And Blue Meanie said goodnight. And he did the meanie dance, which I'm not going to do because I'm going to spill my drink. It's a very violent movement. Let's do one final sip. Here we go. Good night, Blue Meanie. Say good night, Blue Meanie. Famous said good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are. Nail said, I sent a gift. I'm excited. Well, so am I. Val said, happy birthday. Ty said, good night, everyone. And good night to all of you. Andrea, Nails, Meanie, go to bed.